Coral is a beautiful part of the ocean. It gives vibrancy and life to the seafloor, and the sea definitely would look emptier if coral wasn't around. Coral is a wonderful ocean aesthetic, but not only that, it plays a vital function in the ocean and in our lives. Coral is the master of disguise, and while they look like ancient galactic rocks or plants, they actually aren't. They're animals. And while this may be a shock to many of us, yes, coral is an animal living within a colony, much like bees and ants, and this colony is called a coral reef. Coral reefs are made up of thousands of individual corals called polyps. These tiny polyps live on the exoskeleton of their ancestors, where they add and contribute their own exoskeleton to the structure. The coral exoskeleton is fascinating, and it's made up by using the coral surrounding material, seawater. Corals use the calcium carbonate from the seawater to make their durable outer shell, and with a lot of time, an amazing new colony comes together. Now, remember in the beginning how I said coral does so much more for the ocean than only being a viral photo? Well, coral provides an intricate and diverse ecosystem, which houses more than 25% of all marine life and is the foundation of the creation of other ecosystems. Coral reefs not only help the ocean, but are essential to our lives worldwide. Coral reefs protect us during major storms by reducing the power of the large waves hitting the shorelines. Also, many communities rely on coral reefs to provide food sources and thriving economies. An estimated 10% of all fish caught worldwide is only possible because of coral reefs. And well-maintained coral reefs can provide around 5 to 15 tons of fish and crustaceans. These sea creatures open a fish and job market in local communities, and tourism revenue worth billions is generated by visiting coral reefs. Also, medically, the exoskeleton of the coral is very similar to our own bones and can be used for bone grafts to heal our body after injury. Coral doesn't do all of this alone, though. It has a symbiotic relationship with zooxanthellae. Zooxanthellae are little plant algae cells that live within the coral polyps and help provide food for the coral. Coral polyps produce water and carbon dioxide as a result of cellular respiration, and the zooxanthellae use these products and perform photosynthesis. Zooxanthellae also help provide the coral with their pigment, and without zooxanthellae, coral polyps will most likely die, and that's exactly what is happening because of coral bleaching. Coral bleaching occurs when there is a drastic change in the temperature, light, or nutrients in the coral reef's habitat. This includes under- or overexposure to light, pollution, and a change in the ocean's temperature. This stresses the coral and causes them to expel the zooxanthellae that live within them, causing them to turn completely white. And if environmental stressors last a long time, the coral will not let the zooxanthellae back in, and sadly, the coral dies. With climate change and global temperatures rising, this can be a scary scenario we could be hearing more about in the future. But luckily, if water's cool within days or even weeks, the algae can return. This is a great thing because many different species depend on the survival of coral reefs, even our own benefits. So together, we should try our best to protect these valuable and vulnerable animals.